Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's talk about the morphological patterns of acute inflammation. The first one is serous inflammation. It is an outpouring of watery protein-poor fluid, depending on site of injury, derived either from plasma or from secretions of mesothelial cell lining the peritoneum, pleural, and pericardial cavities. Fluid in serous cavity is called effusion. Examples include the skin blisters resulting from burns or viral infections. Fibrinous inflammation is seen in more serious injury. Increase in vascular permeability allow leakage of large molecules, that is fibrinogen, and extravascular fibrin accumulate. It is characteristics of inflammation of body cavities. In acute inflammation, it may resolve over time, that is resolution is seen, while in chronic, if fibrin is not completely removed, ingrowth of fibroblast in blood vessel lead to organization, that is going to be scarred, fibrotic, and non-functional in that area. Examples include the fibrinous pericarditis. In suppurative inflammation, large amount of pus, that is neutrophil, necrotic cells, and edema fluid. Certain organism accumulation is seen, for example, pyogenic bacteria. In acute inflammation, abscess, that is focal collection of pus, and central necrotic area, that is surrounded by neutrophil. Abscesses are basically in it. We see a central, largely necrotic area that is rimmed by a layer of preserved neutrophils with a surrounding zone of dilated vessel, and fibroblast proliferation indicative of attempted repair. As time passes, the abscesses may become completely walled off and eventually be replaced by connective tissue. And because of the underlying tissue destruction, the usual outcome is scarring. Examples include the pimples in skin, liver abscess, pneumonia. Ulceration is a local defect or exuvasation of the surface. I have written extravasation, it is exuvasation. Corrected, please? Okay. Ulcer is a local defect or exuvasation of the surface of an organ or tissue that is produced by necrosis of cell and slugging of necrotic and inflammatory tissue. It exists on or near a surface, and they are most commonly encountered in mucosa of mouth, stomach, intestine, or genitourinary tract, and in the subcutaneous tissue of the lower extremities in older persons who have circulatory disturbances. Examples include the peptic ulcer of the stomach or duodenum. Other types of inflammation include the hemorrhagic inflammation, that is formation of exudate having large number of RBC. Example, acute hemorrhagic pneumonia, and pseudomembranous inflammation, that is necrotizing inflammation involving mucous membrane. For example, diphtheria and Clostridium infection. Okay, this figure is showing you fibrinous inflammation. Example is fibrinous pericarditis, that is deposits of fibrin on the pericardium, as shown in figure A, and in figure B, a pink meshwork of fibrin exudate that overlies the pericardial surface. P and F are written over there. F is showing the fibrin exudate, and with P you can see pericardial surface. Okay, this is the normal heart, and you can compare it easily with the fibrinous inflammation, that is acute pericarditis, and you can see the extravascular fibrin accumulation. This is suppurative inflammation. Pus is over there. In figure A, it is abscess in the lung, and in B, you can see the more detailed view of it, that how it contains the neutrophils and cellular debris and congested blood vessel. In red color, you can see that congested blood vessel. Okay, this is ulcerative inflammation. In the figure A, you can see a chronic duodenal ulcer, and in figure B, slide of it is shown. It is a low power cross section of a duodenal ulcer with an acute inflammatory exudate in the base. So in the base you can see the acute inflammation. That's all.